Hello friends, welcome to Muzi Toys.
Rescue Chris OXLADE. Danger at sea. The first air-sea rescue was in 1911. In the USA, a pilot landed his plane on Lake Michigan and rescued another pilot who had crashed. Since then, every year air-sea rescue teams rescue hundreds of people who have been at danger at sea. But what kind of dangers do people face? Strong winds and enormous waves damage or capsize boats, make them sink. People have accidents or become ill. Aircraft land or crash in the sea. Boats collide with one another, hit underwater rock, or have mechanical problems. Rescue vehicles and crew. Air-sea rescue crews use different kinds of aircrafts and boats to help people who get in trouble at sea. All these crafts carry first aid equipment such as stretchers, blankets and oxygen masks. They have navigation equipment to find their way, radar equipment to spot boats and ships far away, and night vision goggles to help see at the night. Helicopters. The helicopter is the most useful aircraft for air-sea rescue. It can hover in the air above a person, in the sea, above a boat. Alongside the helicopter pilot, the helicopter will carry a winchman, a winch operator, and sometimes a rescue swimmer. Who's who? Helicopter pilot. Pilots need lots of training, skills, and practice to keep a helicopter hovering still over the sea, especially in strong winds. Who's who? Rescue swimmers. Some air-sea rescue helicopters use rescue swimmers. Helicopter pilots try to get as close to the water as they can. Then a rescue swimmer jumps into the water with a life raft to rescue casualties. Being a rescue swimmer is a very difficult job. Rescue swimmers might have to stay in rough sea for up to half an hour. Who is who? Winchman. A winchman is lowered down from a helicopter on a wire to pluck people from the water or from the decks of boats. Sometimes more than one person can be rescued at a time. Long-range aircrafts. Air-sea rescue crews have long-range spotter aircraft as well as helicopters. Spotter planes fly faster and further than helicopters and can go hundreds of kilometers out to the sea in very bad weather to search for ships and boats in trouble. However, long-range aircraft can't hover in one place like helicopters, so they can't lower a winchman. Who's who? Long-range aircraft pilot. Pilots of long-range rescue aircraft have to fly for hours on end during searches and rescues. They have to fly in bad weather and at night. They are normally military pilots who do extra training for this special job. Who's who? pararescue crew. A pararescue crews work on rescues too far out of sea for helicopters to reach, and jump from long-range aircraft and parachute down to the scene of a rescue. They help injured or sick survivors and then look after them until they are rescued by ship. Air sea rescues. Boats. The crew of lifeboats, coast guard boats, and other ships often help out with air sea rescues. These strong boats are designed to go to sea in almost any weather, and they can be launched quickly like rescue aircraft. They communicate with other rescuers by radio, help survivors on board and give them first aid. With even submarines have taken a part in air sea rescues. Who's who? Rescue boat crew. The crew of a rescue boat are expert sailors. They know how to launch and steer a boat and navigate to where help is needed, often in very bad weather. Some of the crew members are mechanics who may help to fix boats that have lost power out at sea. All the crew have first aid training. Oil and gas disasters. Many people work at sea, in the fishing industry or transporting goods and people from one country to another by boat or ship. Others live at sea on drilling rigs, which pump up oil from under the seabed. The oil is put in tankers and then delivered to different countries around the world. An oil ring. Oil drilling ring explosion. The Deepwater Horizon oil ring in the Gulf of Mexico was one of the most powerful in the world. Its job was to drill up for oil up to 9 kilometers under the seabed. It once drilled the deepest oil well in the world. When a gas leak caused a huge explosion and fierce fire, many people's lives were in danger. Some of the men jumped into the sea, but the others were still on the oil ring. Disaster facts. Date 20 April 2010. Location Gulf of Mexico, USA. Gas explosion, fire, endangered 126 workers. USA oil drilling ring and Gulf of Mexico. Workers who have jumped into the sea were picked up by an oil ring support ship from their crew who were not seriously injured were taken back to the shore by Coast Guard boats. When air sea rescue helicopters arrived with medical staff, they landed on the deck of the support ship and they flew 17 injured crew members from the support ship to hospital. But the job of the air sea rescue crews was not over. Rescue boats with water cannon put out the fire burning on the oil ring. Air Sea Rescue. Calling Air Sea Rescue helicopters searched for missing crew members. When it got dark, special night vision equipment was used to search a huge area of the sea. The rescue crews worked for 4 days and nights, but sometimes even with the best equipment, it is not possible to But sometimes even with the best equipment, it is not possible to rescue everybody. 11 people died in that disaster. Aircraft sometimes get into trouble when flying over the sea. If there is a problem with the plane's engine and it can't make it back to land, the pilot may have to make an emergency landing in the sea without a working engine. A pilot must steer the plane at the right angle to land on water. This is called ditching. If the pilot gets this right, the plane will land safely and smoothly. If the pilot gets it wrong, the plane will crash. Survivors wait to be rescued from a plane that ditched on the Hudson River, USA in 2009. A rich helicopter. See?
Better, yes.
In May 2012, a helicopter was heading for an oil link in the North Sea with 2 crew and 12 passengers on board. When the helicopter was 40 kilometers out to the sea, there was a mechanical problem with the engine. The pilot deliberately ditched the helicopter into the sea before the problem got worse, which could have led to a crash. Everyone on board climbed into the helicopter's life raft. Disaster facts. Date 10 May 2012. Location North Sea. Disaster mechanical failure. Endangered 2 crew and 12 passengers. As soon as the crew sent a mayday call, Air Sea Rescue helicopters flew to the scene. 2 lifeboats were also launched. The first lifeboat arrived within an hour and the crew helped aboard the survivors who were not injured. When the helicopters arrived, they winched aboard the survivors who needed to go to the hospital. Helicopters can travel faster than boats and they were able to take the injured people to hospital quickly. The successful rescue operation took 2 hours. The injured survivors were winched into a helicopter. Hitting rocks. Boats and ships working at sea normally follow a set course using modern navigation equipment. But sometimes, because of engine failure, bad weather or human mistakes, boats and ships hit the shore or each other. Capsizing boat. A huge hole was made in the hull of a giant cruise ship. The Costa Concordia when it collided with the rocks near a small land of Italy. Many of the passengers and crew escaped in lifeboats. Other passengers who had jumped into the water were rescued by boat, but some people were stuck on board. Disaster facts. Date 13 January 2012. Location western coast of Italy. Disaster collision with rocks. In danger 4,229 passengers and crew. 5 air sea helicopters arrived to help. They took it in turns to hover over the ship, which men were lowered down to help survivors one at a time. Their job was made difficult because it was night time and the ship was leaning over to one side. A helicopter lifted the last survivors from the ship 36 hours late after it tipped over. Air Sea Rescue Crew rescuing survivors. Air Sea Rescue on land. Air Sea Rescue teams don't always work at sea. Sometimes they are needed when people are trapped by floods on land. Their helicopters have the right equipment and trained crew for this kind of rescue. A man is rescued from a flood in Istanbul, Turkey. Hurricane Katrina caused floods across parts of Mississippi, USA in 2005. New Orleans floods. Sometimes disasters on land affect thousands of people and many air sea rescue teams are needed. In August 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit the US coast close to the New Orleans. The hurricane's winds caused the sea level to rise so high that water poured over the city's flood barriers. More than 350 rescue helicopters along with Coast Guard boats saved more than 33,000 people in 6 days. The helicopters winched people from the roofs of houses and buildings and from road bridges. Coast Guard boats can carry more people than helicopters, so they were used to rescue those trapped in their they were used to rescue those trapped in their homes. Children being rescued from flood areas. Disaster facts. Date 29 August 2005. Location New Orleans, USA. Disaster flooding caused by a hurricane. Endangered 100,000 residents. Unusual rescues. Cable car rescue. 35 people were rescued from a cable car which had broken down halfway up the mountain. Halfway up the mountain. Animal rescue. A bull elk was rescued after it fell over some cliffs. Here's the bullock and here's the cable line. Icebox rescue. Two fishermen whose boat had sunk 25 days before were rescued from an ice box. In the helicopters, planes and boats, air sea rescue teams used their skills to find people and take them to safety. Thousands of people have air sea rescue teams for to thanks for being alive today. Saving lives at sea and on land. Rescue vehicles. Rescue vehicle. Helicopter. Rescue crew. Pilot, winchman and rescue swimmers. Lifeboat and boat crew mechanic. Boat crew and mechanic. Long range. Spotter aircraft. Pilot. Crew. Aircraft ditching, boat hitting rocks, flood, oil explosion, animal rescue, cable car rescue, aircraft ditching, boats hitting rock, flooding, oil ring explosion, icebox rescue.
Hello friends, please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get the video updates.